Hi, my name is Shoma Jurgensen, and I'm the chair of the School of Business for Rasmussen College's Brooklyn Park campus. Welcome to this personal branding session. I'd like to start out this session by telling you what my personal brand is. I inspire passion for business through a rigorous, globally focused education. You'll notice two things. One, my personal brand statement is not my job title. What it is an expression of what I care about and how I provide value to the organization for which I work, Rasmussen College. You'll also notice that my personal brand addresses what can set my company apart so that I know my personal brand adds value to my organization. Many of you are embarking on a journey where you are either entering the market for the first time, whether you are re-entering the market, or if you're moving from one position to another through this fantastic vehicle education. And it's time for you to explain your place in that market. How do you offer something to the business for which you want to work that adds value, that helps them grow and succeed in the future? That is the challenge of personal branding. I'll also have you note that as professionals, we will hear from others in the field say that your personal brand is not your job title, much as I started with mine. So what does that mean? That means for you as a student that your personal brand is not your degree. Businesses do not hire degrees. Hospitals do not hire degrees. Organizations do not hire degrees. They hire people. People with a set of values and passions that will either match the culture and the future orientation of an organization or not. So how do you define what it is that sets you apart and makes you special in the industry that you want to join? It may sound daunting, but 2 simple steps and a lot of revision and input is all it takes to start to develop a brand that you can use to sell yourself. The first step is actually, I think, the more challenging of the 2, at least from the student's perspective. For the last number of years, you've been focusing on gathering information about the work that you're going to do. You've been working hard on accounting and health sciences and education and criminal justice. You've been working hard on your requirements for the job. It's now time to figure out what an organization wants from a job candidate. So this first step is starting to look externally. Right now, colleges and universities are facing a new era, if one will. It's an era where we need job candidates to produce job candidates that are more globally focused. Candidates who know how to function in a world essentially without borders. That's where I started with my personal brand statement. I didn't just want to inspire students to business. I didn't just want to use a rigorous education so that candidates came out with both quality and a degree. What I wanted to do is address what businesses are going to need in the future and produce candidates that are not only good at business, but are good at business in a global world. I wouldn't have been able to come to this understanding without some research into the market. Look up the website and look up articles on the companies that you want to join. What's important to them? How are they competing? Your job as a new employee in their business is to help them compete better. Is to help them set themselves apart from their competitors and serve each and every one of their stakeholders. How do you do that? What is it about you and your person, your values, your spirit, and your passion that helps them meet that goal? Right now, you might be thinking, well, I have my resume. Where do I put am passionate about? Well, that's what the personal brand is about. It's your introduction. It's your way in. It's your handshake when you can't be there to shake hands. So the next step after understanding what it is that your industry wants from a candidate, what your ideal position wants from a candidate, is to understand who you are. You might brainstorm, and I suggest using a game that's called the Values Game. You can search online and find several different examples. But essentially, you're brainstorming a number of different values and starting to narrow them down until you find three, only three, that represent you. That means you have to imagine that there are no other values that represent you. You need to be committed to these values. Okay? Now, once you've identified that in yourself, there's going to be some areas where you don't quite understand the way you represent yourself. That might be an area of weakness for you. I suggest doing a 360-degree assessment of who you are. Ask your friends, ask your employers, if you had to name three things that describe me, three things I value, three things I represent, what would you choose? Check your assumptions. You might find strengths that you're communicating that you had no idea were part of your skill set. Use these strengths because they're already out there in the marketplace. In my case, passion for education is one of them. That's what led me from the corporate world to the world of education. I'm passionate about education. I'm passionate about preparing students to be successful. That's how I help colleges and universities meet their goals. What is it about you that you bring to an organization that will say to them, I understand your business, I understand who I am, let me introduce myself. Thank you.